Hi, my name is Ian Klosoviak, and I'm here with Close Guitars Tech Series. Today we're going to be talking about how to troubleshoot your Fishman Pickup in your guitar. This is actually very easy to do. Fishman has already done a very good job designing their pickup, but every once in a while there can be some kind of issue. So today we're going to be talking about how to troubleshoot those little issues. In general, they're very easy to do, and anyone could do them. First, I want to kind of go over what the pickup is. These are the two knobs. There's a volume knob and a tone control knob. Some other Fishman pickups have other options. They have bass, middle, and treble. Some of them even have a tuner, a built-in tuner. So yeah, if your volume knob is all the way down, you're not going to get a sound out of the guitar. So we have three wires here. The first wire is the battery wire. Obviously, if your battery's running low, then you're going to have issues with your pickup. It's not going to be making a sound, or it's going to be cutting in and out, something weird like that. So that's the first thing you want to check, is the battery and the volume knob. Next, we have the undersaddle pickup. We're going to go into a lot of detail on the undersaddle pickup in just a second. And then lastly, you have the jack cable right here, which is going to connect to the cable from your guitar to the amp. Here we have a saddle, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the saddle in a moment, but it's actually a very important, probably one of the most important parts of the guitar. Some things you may want for this procedure is a new battery, a string winder, and a capo. So now we're going to jump right into the details. So if you are having a problem with the volume of the different strings being different, the first thing you want to do is take something like this piece of plastic from this capo, or something else that's similar, and what you want to do is push the saddle back like this along these strings. Now what that's going to do is, the strings have a tendency of wanting to push the saddle forward, causing there to be too much friction, as we talked about a second ago, and restricting that vertical motion, that vertical vibration that is necessary to transfer the pressure to this pickup. So, by pushing this back, you're going to allow the saddle to sit in the right place. Once you do that, try it out, see if that helped. If it didn't, you can loosen the strings a little bit, do the same thing, tighten the strings up again, and follow that similar procedure. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off and take the saddle out and show you how to clean out the saddle slot. So, I'm going to put a capo on the first fret right there. I'm gonna loosen the strings. You can use a string winder if you want. Now that the strings are loose, we're gonna want to take these bridge pins out. I'm going to put a piece of tape right here so I don't damage the bridge. You could then use the end of this capo to pull these out, or you could stick your hand in and simply push the pins out like that and take them out one by one. No longer need that tape. While your hand is in there, you can help push the strings out by pushing the ball of the string into the hole. And you can put the strings to the side of the guitar. Now here you see the saddle. I'm going to take the saddle out, and like I said before, the saddle should have very little friction, so you should be able to pull it out very easily. And I'm going to put that saddle right here. I'm going to push on this pickup right here, and you can see the pickup coming out of this saddle slot. At this point, you want to check if there's anything inside. You might want to blow in there. If there's any dust, sawdust, or if there's any sand or anything weird like that, you want to check it out. You want to look at the end of the pickup to see if it has a similar thickness. This thickness feels the same all along there. You want to check in there. If everything is clean, you're ready to just put the saddle back in. When you put the saddle back in, you want to make sure that this pickup goes all the way to the end of the saddle slot. If the end of the pickup ends somewhere over here on accident, or if it was placed in like this, it can cause sound problems. So when you put it in, you want to put it in, make sure it goes to the end. You can put one end in first and then push it down like this, kind of pop into place. The other thing that can cause issues is the break angle of the strings. In general, a well-designed bridge has the holes, the bridge pin holes, parallel to the saddle, which will cause the break angle of the string, which is what you see right here. It'll cause the break angle to be the same on every string, which will cause there to be equal force on every string pushing down on the piezo pickup. If sometimes a solution to fixing an issue, that break angle is the issue, is taking a little file or a little saw file and sawing down that string slot right by the bridge hole to make that angle lower, which will cause more tension in the down direction. Again, we do all of those things in our shop here when we make the guitar, so with the close guitar, you will not have to do that. Another thing that you might want to check is if the bottom of the saddle is flat. That's actually very important. The bottom has to be flat here, and the bottom of the bridge saddle slot has to be very flat. Good way to check if it's flat is to take a ruler, hold the saddle like this, and you can look up in the light and you will see if there's a gap or not. There should be no gap, and if there is no gap, then you should be good to go. Once you're finished with cleaning this whole area out, overhauling, check if there's anything going on. You want to put the saddle back in, and you're ready to put the strings back on. Next thing you might want to check are the cables. Cables are in right here. You can just take the jacks, lightly push on the ends of the cables to make sure that they're set in completely. You can go to the back of the guitar, wiggle the wire, make sure that everything is in the right place. And in general, the wires rarely have an issue, but every once in a while, you never know. It's good to check. Okay, now we're ready to put the strings back on and assemble the guitar. So, we're going to take one string at a time, push the bridge pins in like this. Now that all the bridge pins are in, you can double check to make sure that they're in all the way. The next thing you want to do is, as we talked before, you want to make sure that the saddle is set in properly. So sometimes, you can press. You want to check the saddle's set in properly. Like I said before, you can use the end of this capo to press that in. Next thing you want to do is tighten the strings. As you tighten the strings, you want to make sure that the string spacing is going to be equal. I'm going to use a string winder to tighten them up. I'm not going to tighten them all the way because that might cause the strings to pop. I'm just going to bring them to an average tension. So now that the strings are at an average tension, I'm going to check that the string spacing is correct. And sometimes all you have to do is lift the string up and make sure that it's equal. A good way to do that is to just put your finger in like this, and it should feel equal everywhere. Another thing you could do is try to find the tiny little groove in the saddle where the string used to be, and just match that same location and you'll be set. Now I'm going to take the capo off and I can finish tuning the guitar. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and see you next time.